What do all of these animals have in common? The Gila monster, the orchard swallowtail caterpillar, the peacock mantis shrimp. They all have funny names. The wonderpuss. Exit, stage left. How do they come up with these names? Like this. Ta-da! It's a fried egg jellyfish. Don't forget the secretary bird, or the blue ribbon eel, and me, proboscis monkey. Get the scoop on what's what with You're Called What.
Wait, what? You're called what?
What do you get when you take something very small, add the ocean, plus a pony? You get a... Wait, where is it? There it is! It's a pygmy seahorse!
Oh, what?
A pygmy seahorse!
Aww.
Oh, you found me. Let's play hide and seek again.
These teensy fish can be found, if you look closely enough, in the warm Western Pacific. Pygmy seahorses have very specific taste when it comes to choosing their home. They only live in one type of coral called a Gorgonian sea fan. It's a living coral that looks much like a plant. It spreads out in large fan-like branches.
Oh, my favourite hiding spot. Ready or not, I'm going in.
The pygmy seahorse is tiny. A full-grown adult barely reaches the size of a staple. Their miniature bodies are so light, the currents just carry them away, which is why they have to find their sea fan home, then grip onto it tight with their monkey-like tails.
1, 2, 3, and change! Whoa!
They will live in one fan colony for their entire lives. Being tiny means they are at the bottom of the marine food chain, but it also means they can hide extremely well.
You'll never find me. No fair. You had help from that circle.
Pygmy seahorses are born a dark brown colour, but will change colour and skin texture to perfectly match their sea fan home. Seahorses living in orange sea fans will grow bumps and turn orange. Smooth pink seahorses grow in this Gorgonia, and this purple pygmy will grow white bumps to perfectly match the coral it lives in.
Do you give up? Do you? Surprise! I'm right here.
The pygmy seahorse, the tiny find with fans all over the world.
ID crisis.
What happens when you cross a rather nosy pig with a water-loving turtle? It's a pig-nosed turtle.
You're called what?
A pig-nosed turtle. Who are you calling pig, mister? I'm a turtle, I think. These underwater oinkers are a rare breed and only found in Australia's north and southern New Guinea. They're a freshwater turtle, which means they live in streams, rivers and inland lakes rather than the salty sea. It's the adorable upturned nose that gets all the attention on this guy. What? Is there something on my face? What is it? Wild pigs like warthogs are floor foragers, so they have to shovel their way to food with their sizable schnozzles. Pig-nosed turtles use their long noses in another way. Their nostrils poke just above the waterline to breathe, just like a snorkel. Big breath in! Like a pig, it has special receptors in its nose to help it find prey they can't spot by sight. A hog will sniff out grass shoots, fungi and insects. The turtle eats plants and insects too, but it will also slurp up mud-covered mollusks, worms and fish. You can keep your slimy worm. I can have truffles for dinner, thanks. One thing the pig and turtle both enjoy is a good mud bath. The wild hogs cover themselves in mud to protect them from insect bites. The turtles will hide in the mud and keep shoveling in search of more food. More worms! The pig-nosed turtle, the reptile with a nose for floor scraps that will even have a pig turning up its nose. That animal is a real pig. No, a turtle. ID crisis solved. Coming up today, play hide and seek with the cutest little sea creature you'll ever meet.
You'll never find me.
Find out why this turtle has a hog-nosed honker. And discover the secret weapon of butterfly royalty. Come at you! What do you get when you take some seriously long horns plus a cow and add a fish? A longhorn cowfish.
You're called what?
A longhorn cowfish? Howdy, partner. Yeehaw! The longhorn cowfish is found in the Indo-Pacific region. That's the warm waters north and south of the equator. They pasture in coral reefs and sandy lagoons where there are plenty of places to hide. They can grow a little longer than your school ruler, but are generally a smaller fish. Welcome to Rancho Relaxo. You should meet the rest of our family. They're real squares. It's a member of the boxfish family. It doesn't have an internal skeleton. Instead, it has a box-shaped outer shell. You can tell it apart from its boxy relatives by the two long horns at the front of its head, much like a bull. But the cowfish also has two horns at the back of its body. What? That's right. There's nothing like a box with spikes on every corner to put a predator off cowfish steak. Round dinner. Yum. Spiky dinner. No thanks. The longhorn cowfish also has poisonous skin. They can give off a toxin if they feel threatened. I meant that. Now time for you to move. While cows like to graze on grass, the cowfish blows air onto sand to uncover food hiding below, like worms, algae, and tiny shrimp and crabs. They also have independently swiveling eyes, much like their floor-dwelling buddies, the peacock mantis shrimp. It helps them spot more food and any incoming cowfish hunters. I don't want any trouble, cowboy. Me again. The longhorn cowfish, a little box that has perfectly adapted to the wild west of the marine world. This ain't my first rodeo. Yeehaw! What do you get when you cross a rumba shaker with a rhythmic reptile? It's a rattlesnake.
A what?
A rattlesnake? Yes, and today I teach you all the moves on my count. 5, 6, 7, 8. When you hear the shake of a rattlesnake, you think of southern US or Mexican desert. However, there are more than 30 types of rattlesnake all the way from Canada south to Argentina. This salsa is hot, and if you can't handle the heat, wait a minute. I can't even handle the heat. Like all reptiles, rattlesnakes can't tolerate extreme hot or cold, so they live in underground burrows by day and hunt when it's cooler at night. The key to keeping your feet a good instrument. This snake has a built-in shaker. The rattle on the end of its tail is made of keratin, the same stuff humans grow to make hair and fingernails. The hollow sections click together so quickly, the snake can shake out 50 rattles in a second and keep rattling for 3 hours non-stop. See? Rhythm is a dancer, and this dancer never gets tired. Keep up! Rattlesnakes have vertical pupils, just like a cat, which also ambushes prey and hunts at night. Look into my eyes. I can even find you on a dark dance floor. The pits below the viper's eyes are heat sensors. Rattlesnakes use them to track down rodents, birds, and lizards. Spaghetti arms. I'm trying to teach you the art of the dance. From the top. 6, 7, 8. Better! Move your hips. That's it. The hips don't lie. Rattlesnakes are very venomous to humans, so it's never a good idea to tango with one. The rattlesnake, a mover and shaker that brings its own instrument to the party.
If you had time to think of the group name for rhinoceroses as they're running your way, what would the right one be? Is it a crash of rhinoceroses? A bang? Or is it a bash of rhinos? The answer is a crash of rhinos.
You're called what?
A crash of rhinoceroses!
There are several species of these massive mammals found throughout parts of Asia and Africa. The rhino is the second largest land mammal and it can run up to 50 kilometres an hour. But they have very poor eyesight. These huge herbivores can't see more than a few metres ahead. It's little wonder a group of rhinos is called a crash. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, they're going to eat me! This is how it ends!
they really can't see.
A crash of rhinos is usually a family group. They travel together to stay safe and protect the babies. There aren't many predators willing to take on a full-grown adult.
Mom, can I sit in the front?
I've told you not till you're older. Rhinos are very protective of their home turf. They have a good sense of smell. So, just like dogs, they mark out the boundaries of their territory with wee.
Ew!
Spraying urine on trees tells other rhinos where their fence lines are.
Honey, why did you spray over there? Our yard starts here.
Oops, I forgot my glasses again.
And that's not the only thing they do to set boundaries. Rhinos also scatter their dung to let others know they're in the neighbourhood. Honey, Alan's left a dung pile to let us know he's passing through.
Oh, that's nice.
Like all mammals, rhinos can also be a herd. But if you do crash into a rhinoceros family, you now know their proper name. A crash of rhinos, the supercharged group that says hello with a pile of poop.
Just leaving my calling card. I'm sure Alan will appreciate it.
ID crisis.
What do you get when you cross one of the fieriest cats in the animal kingdom with a slippery fish? A lionfish.
Yo, what?
A lionfish? Have you seen this mane? You must be confused. I'm clearly the Lion King. The lionfish is a carnivore native to the Indo-Pacific, but has spread to other oceans. Their underwater savannas are seagrass beds, mangroves and coral reefs. Ah yes, the grassland, where the lion reigns supreme. Here they feast on crustaceans and smaller fish. They have large mouths to swallow them up in a single bite. A single bite, eh? Must try that on a gazelle sometime. It has more than a dozen long separated spines around its body, which look much like a lion's magnificent mane. Told you, 100% certified lion. But this is a mane filled with fire. The spines are venomous. If anything tries to touch it, it can deliver a paralyzing blast. Hands off the mane. I spent hours getting it just right. Like a lion, the lionfish is an ambush predator. That means it sneaks about before pouncing on prey. And just like the big cats, lionfish have very few natural enemies. The killer barbs are very off-putting for most.
Waiter, there seem to be some deadly spines in my fish soup.
Apart from the moray eel.
Pass it over here. I'll eat anything.
But while a lion will often feast over several days, the lionfish will eat a lot in one sitting. Its stomach can expand like a balloon, up to 30 times its original size. Oh no, it's the same guy here for the all-you-can-eat buffet again. Load the table. It's a fish with a lot of float, unlike lions, which don't really like swimming. This underwater lion king is a little lion, but all fish.
So, I am a fish. Meh. Hakuna Matata.
The lionfish. ID crisis solved. What happens when you cross a royal ruler with a delicate flyer? You get a monarch butterfly.
Oh, what?
Monarch Butterflies! Long live the monarchy!
Monarch butterflies come from North and Central America, but have spread throughout the world. You'll find them in meadows, woodlands, and open fields, anywhere near milkweed, which the caterpillars have developed a taste for.
Nom 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 nom. We feast like kings.
About a month after being laid as an egg, a fully grown butterfly emerges, knowing it has a big journey ahead. Monarch butterflies can't survive freezing cold. Sire, the crops, they have perished. Then it is what I have feared. Winter is coming. Each year the sky becomes filled with massive clouds of monarchs migrating to California and Mexico to keep warm. A single monarch butterfly can travel nearly 5,000 kilometers.
Let us go, monarchs! By order of the king, we must conquer foreign lands rich in milkweed.
Hurrah! When this royal army of monarch butterflies comes together, they're known as a flutter.
Soon the world will know of the Flutter Army. Wait, Flutter Army? That doesn't sound very tough.
Flutters aren't to be taken lightly, though. They can number in the millions. When early British settlers in North America first saw the skies thick with monarchs, they named them after King William III, who was also the Prince of Orange. On their long journey south, the monarchs must be wary of their many enemies.
Enemy spotted! Sound the alarm!
Birds, ants, snakes and lizards are some of the attackers looking for a meal on the fly.
Sire, the birds! There are too many of them! Don't worry, my boy. We have a secret weapon.
While the monarch butterfly's distinctive orange pattern makes them easy to spot, it also warns predators the insects are poisonous.
Have at you! I'm a taste most foul!
The monarch butterfly, sovereign of the skies.
Families.
Every family member has an odd name when it comes to swans. Can you guess what a male swan is called? Is it a loaf? Is it a cob? Or is a male swan called a drink? A male swan is called a cob.
A what?
That's right, a cob. Swans are found on most continents, from the mute swan in Europe to the black-necked swan in South America. They usually nest around fresh water, though there are some that like a salty home. The males are cobs and female swans are called pens.
Huh?
That's right, pens. Both words are from very old European names, from the knob on a male's beak and the way a female fans her wings.
Aqua aerobics, ladies, that's it. Stretch your wings out. Stops you feeling penned in.
Male and female swans partner for life. They both take care of the eggs and raise the hatchlings together too. A baby swan also has an unusual name.
Is it a swanling?
No, it's a cygnet. They have up to 10 cygnets at a time, which stay with the mum and dad until they are about 4 years old.
Right, son, your feathers are coming in. Time to learn how to dabble.
Dabbling is the name for the action swans do when they look for food. They dabble around the water's surface, picking off snails and frogs. It's not quite diving and not quite paddling.
And head up. That, son, was a double dabble. Well executed.
A group of swans can be called a herd, a bevy, or a game of swans.
Am I in the right game here? There seem to be a lot of short necks about.
The swan family. No ugly ducklings here, just cygnets, pens, and cobs.
What do you get when you cross a rainbow with a stag and a beetle? It's a rainbow stag beetle.
You're called what?
A rainbow stag beetle.
Hey everyone, don't you just love rainbows? And love? They're like totally groovy.
These iridescent wonders come from the land down under, northeastern Australia to be exact. Tropical rainforests are where they like to spread the love, showing off their psychedelic shells. That's where the rainbow stag beetle gets the rainbow part of its name, from the shimmery blues, greens and reds splashed across its body.
Can you dig it? I'm like all the colours of the rainbow, dude.
The stag part of its name comes from its formidable mandibles, or jaws, which are strikingly similar to the antlers on a male deer, which are known as stags. Compared to the ladies, the male rainbow stag beetles have bigger mandibles, which they use to establish dominance over others.
Hey dude, I know I'm all about peace and love, but like, move!
These beetles can get pretty worked up when it comes to defending their territory and when competing for potential mates.
I love the smell of sandalwood in the morning. Whoa, well, I guess that's karma for you.
These colourful critters really work up an appetite with all their bickering. Rotten, decaying wood is a favourite for keeping that healthy rainbow shine, along with fruit and nectar. Rainbow stag beetles have another trick stashed under their shiny shells: wings. When push comes to shove, they can take off into the sky.
See you on the other side of this groovy rainbow.
The rainbow stag beetle, proving that somewhere over the rainbow, there's a stag beetle.
What do you call a group of lions when they're hanging out together as a family? Is it a pride of lions? Or maybe a stork? Or is it a bite of lions? It's a pride of lions.
You're called what?
A pride of lions.
I am king of the jungle, you know.
Lions are found in the sub-Saharan parts of Africa, except for a small group of Asian lions that live in the Gir forest in India. Lions are known as kings of the jungle, but you're more likely to find them in open savanna and grasslands. The males aren't actually called kings.
Where not? Perhaps a duke then.
A male cat, even the wild ones, are known as toms, but females are called queens. May I present the queen and her tom?
Can I at least be a squire? A noble huntsman, maybe?
The females do the lion's share of the hunting. They work together as a group to take down antelopes, zebras, wildebeest, and other large mammals. The hunt has to feed the male and the entire family pride of sisters, aunts, and cubs. Kids, dinner time! Lions are the only big cats that live in groups. The pride's lionesses are all related.
Mom, my turn. Carry me, carry me, carry me, carry me.
Oh, for goodness sake! Up to 3 males are part of the pride. Their job is to protect their territory.
Finally, a knight! I'm a brave knight.
Lions are apex predators, which means they are at the top of the food chain. They can afford to move slowly and with confidence. This gives them the air of pride their group is named after. Tom, can you please help me here? A pride of lions, a family group name you can be proud to know. There is no pride in parenting, seriously.
What do you get when you mix the colour of the sky, plus a ring, plus an octopus? A blue-ringed octopus!
You're called what?
A blue-ringed octopus.
I'm so pretty, it hurts.
These toxic sea dwellers occur in coral reefs and tide pools in the Indian and Pacific Oceans from Australia to Japan. They get their name from their bright blue rings, which pulsate vividly just before they bite.
Hey, buddy, this isn't a light show. I'm trying to give you a warning here.
At just 10 centimetres long, these tiny stingers are some of the ocean's most recognisable and venomous residents.
Hazard lights on.
Despite packing some serious punch in the venom department, blue-ringed octopuses actually aren't hostile at all. Their distinguishing blue rings function as an alarm system to tell predators to stay away. Really, they are the ocean's recluses.
Blue lights mean no thanks to a playdate. Sheesh, how is that confusing?
Within the blue ring's salivary glands live bacteria, which produce the chemical tetrodotoxin.
Say what?
Tetrodotoxin, a strong, fast-acting toxin that paralyzes its target and can be fatal. It's the same toxin found in a bunch of other ocean dwellers, including cuttlefish and triggerfish.
Welcome to the Tetro Club, buddy. We have t-shirts.
I'm not really a joiner. I'm just into club me.
The blue-ringed octopus is so deadly it has enough venom inside of it to take down 26 humans in minutes. When their blue rings aren't flashing, these tiny critters are nearly impossible to spot, blending into their surroundings with chameleon-like skill.
Finally, they get the hint. Now, it's just me and some shrimp tea.
The blue-ringed octopus. If you like it, then maybe don't put a ring on it.
What happens when you cross lumps and bumps with a spaceship and a frog? A bumpy rocket frog!
You're called what?
A bumpy rocket frog.
Prepare for launch in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
These hoppers have southern hemisphere launch pads based around the east coast and top end of Australia. You'll spot many more rocket frogs in the summer rainy season. They live in open forest and swamps close to running water or ponds.
Ground control to Major Frog. Stay close to water in case we need an emergency landing.
The bumpy rocket frog is often mistaken for an invader to Australia, the cane toad. It too is covered in bumps, but unlike the much larger toad, this rocket frog has shiny wet skin and long legs.
Major Frog, there's trouble incoming. You're gonna need all the power you can get for liftoff here.
Behind you!
Its long legs allow it to jump much further than other amphibians, up to 4 meters. It doesn't have poisonous skin like a toad, so it needs to make a quick escape from alien intruders with a taste for frog's legs.
Major Frog, you've achieved liftoff. Prepare for the horizontal burn.
When it's in the air, the bumping rocket frog has a design feature to help it cruise at high speed. It's a long, cone-shaped nose that looks and acts just like a rocket heading into orbit.
You're reaching peak altitude, Major Frog. Time to begin your descent.
Rocket frog fuel comes in the form of insects, spiders, moths, and worms.
It's a messy touchdown, but you're safe.
The Bumpy rocket frog, the turbocharged jumper that takes one giant leap for frog kind.
Mission accomplished, Major Frog. Good job. Return to base.
What do you call it when a keen-eyed designer meets a camouflaging crustacean? A decorator crab.
You're called what?
A decorator crab?
I have this sudden urge for a complete makeover.
These crafty crabs can be found all over the world, from the Indian and Pacific Oceans to the Caribbean and the Black Sea. There are over 900 species of decorators. They come in all shapes and sizes. Like any expert renovator, they brighten up their homes to suit the environment around them, from kelp forests to coral gardens. They do have one thing in common. They have the same artistic brief: to grab whatever is around them and zhuzh up their shell.
I can do wonders with anything.
Decorator crabs like this little reef jewel will even cover themselves in stinging sea anemones.
Keep still. Really, it's so hard to get good help.
Their stinging suits keep away any other fish, eel or octopus that may want to turn them into lunch.
I'm suddenly not that hungry.
Well, I never. I know I look delicious today, darling.
They will grab dropped corals, sponges, bits of human rubbish, anything to set their shells to stunning.
Sometimes less is more, darlings.
So when you next see a rock on the move, look closer. It might just be a decorator crab, the stylish star of the sea.